Hello everyone. Hallo zusammen. Hi hi. Glad to be back with another live stream. Always fun to have these. And to talk to you guys. And to check in with the world, basically, because that is basically what it is for me. You know. And maybe also for you. Who knows? Who knows? Just need to set a few things up real quick. I think that is about it. Yeah, I think so. Tiffany, hi! Thanks for tuning in. Glad to see you here. Mir geht's gut. I'm doing well. Thank you very much for asking. Hope you do too. Very German answer to that, I know, because, you know, Germans don't do small talk that much. They don't just, you know, say, how are you? And they, you know, and then not expecting an answer. Germans would expect an answer. So, hence I'm German, you know, I'm giving an answer. That's the thing. I'm a little bit keyed out in my beard. Interesting. Tiny little bit. Kai Syversen, hi. Coding Beast, hi. And don't worry, I just started the stream, so you haven't missed anything. Don't you worry at all. Resolve to Evolve. That's a nice name. Sounds like a band name, to be honest. Awesome. Thanks for tuning in. Hi. I'm on my way to work. Lily Winchester. You guys, wow. Hi. Thank you very much for tuning in. Wow. Bumping against my microphone. Ren Shiwu. Hi. You guys, that's awesome. You know, I've been streaming for like 2 minutes and people tune in and everything. It's awesome. Thank you very much. Highly appreciate that. Nico Sodano, hi. Hello Dave, guten Tag and happy almost weekend. Yes, basically. I mean, for me, it's weekend already, so I don't work on Saturdays or Sundays. And Sundays are off in Germany anyway, you know, with the exception of a few, you know, types of work. For instance, a few shops and stores, like gas stations, for instance, are open on Sundays, or bakeries, you know, up until a certain point into the day. But that's about it. Apart from that, Sundays are off days in Germany. So, wie sieht der Plan für den heutigen Stream aus? What is the plan for today's stream? Well, it's basically, you know, hanging out, chatting with you guys, and having a chill little while together. That's basically what my streams are mostly about. Nothing too fancy or nothing too, you know, action-ish. So it's just like a little hangout, tune in and hang out, basically. That is the motto of my streams for the most part. It's a nice way to keep up with you guys, you know, and to communicate with you and to exchange opinions and whatnot, and to hear what you guys are up to. And yeah, that's basically the idea behind this. So if you have questions, feel free to ask them regarding the channel, regarding the videos, regarding me, regarding whatever, I don't know. How was my translation, by the way? That was perfect. Yeah, it's flawless. Wie sieht der Plan für den heutigen Stream aus? That is the perfect translation, German translation for saying, you know, what is the plan for today's stream? Are you gonna stream with Vuko soon? I would love to do that again, definitely. I mean, we both would love to do that. We haven't just like found the time to do that again. I'm gonna see him tomorrow because I'm gonna be at his birthday party. He will celebrate his 36th birthday on Monday, October 31st. You know, it's his birthday on Halloween. In past years, I actually uploaded a few vlogs that I recorded on those birthday parties, which were always great. You know, we hung out with friends. We just had a great time, and I'm really looking forward to doing that again with him. That is a great question, Nico. Have you seen any sort of fluctuation in your viewer metrics since changing the channel name? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Views and subscribers and also the revenue has dropped a little bit. which I wasn't really shocked by, to be honest, because I knew, or let me put it this way, I thought it could have been, you know, a possible outcome of this for like a certain amount of time, simply because, you know, the established metrics of the channel, the old channel name VlogDave, for instance, that was already established in, you know, search engines and all those things, you know, the algorithm knew it. And then, of course, I eradicated all of that and I changed it to something new that wasn't really in, or that isn't really in the search engines or, you know, the algorithms yet. So, of course, the systems, you know, Google and YouTube, also belonging to Google, of course, but you know what I mean, they have to get adjusted to the changes. And that can take a few weeks, actually, at times. And considering, you know, I've changed almost 800 videos that I've done over the years, I guess it might still take a few days. Like since 5-ish days, I think, I have actually seen an increase once again. I don't know if that's just temporary. I don't know. That was a risk that I had to take with this, I guess. And I hope it will, get back to, or on par, if you will, compared to the old metrics. It's not like as if it had fallen down way, like totally much. That isn't the case. That hasn't been the case yet, luckily. But it has dropped. Yes, it has dropped. And that was also one of the reasons, you know, initially, many months ago, when I actually first thought about changing the channel name, one of the arguments for me against doing that. But I just didn't feel happy with it anymore, so I had to change it, you know. And I took the risk. Sometimes you have to take risks, and that is one of those. So I don't know how it will turn out, and I hope it will stabilize again, of course. Of course, if you guys, you know, if you have someone you know that might be interested in what I'm doing on YouTube, feel free to recommend my channel, you know, because that is basically the most effective thing you can do as a viewer to support this cause, this channel, and what I'm doing here. Apart from, you know, Patreon and everything, of course, but yeah, as an organic thing. So, Coding Beast, if you don't mind me asking, why did you change your channel name? I actually made a video about that. In short, you know, the channel was called German with VlogDave. Before that, it was simply called VlogDave. That was the original channel name. And back in the day, you know, if it hadn't been taken by Vuko, very good friend of mine already, Get Germanized would have been a perfect channel name. And I still think it is a perfect channel name. So, yeah. But of course, you know, it was taken, and I thought, you know, I'm filming vlogs every now and then, so, and, you know, I'm Dave, so Vlog Dave. And the original idea was that it was a 3-part name, Vlog Dave. I didn't consider, or I didn't know at the time, at the beginning of the channel, that in English you don't say vlog, but you say it as one word and one syllable, basically, vlog. So that 3-part thing, which would correlate with the 3 colors of the German flag, and which would make for a nice little CI, corporate identity design, wouldn't work anymore. So, and I've actually thought about changing the channel name many times over the years, but I didn't really get around to do it, and I couldn't really get myself to do it for various reasons. One of them I just mentioned, you know, the risk of losing SEO rankings and everything for videos and all of that. At the end of the day, you know, in mid-September, I was at the point of, you know, I want to do it. I'm just going to go for it. It's a risk. It can be risky because you may lose certain standings in terms of, you know, SEO rankings on Google or on YouTube itself. That was the risk I had to take. So, long story short, too long didn't read. Yeah, I wasn't really happy with the channel name anymore. and it didn't feel, and I didn't feel that it actually represented my type of content that I was doing for the most part. It's not that I wasn't filming vlogs anymore, but because of, COVID and everything, and because of, also filming a lot from at home, which technically could also be considered vlogs, but not in the actual sense of, being out and about and then filming an event, for instance. I just didn't feel like it would fit and it would accurately express the channel's purpose. And then I opted for a channel name, definitely, that is way more neutral, way more general. It can mean anything, basically. It also has more of a brand feel to it, which I like. And it enables me to really do various things if I wanted to. Which is not to say that I will change the, I'm not going to change the basic or the outlines of my content, It will remain about the German language and culture for the time being. But yeah, that's basically the story. But it was a tough decision. Definitely tough decision. Yes. It was definitely a risk to take. Well, I see what you did there, my friend. Yes, it was. In fact, it was. Wiesen or Vasen? Wiesen oder Vasen? Which is better? To be honest, I don't know what Vasen is. I know Wiesen. Wiesen, die Wiesen is basically a colloquial expression or alternate expression for the Oktoberfest in Germany. Die Wiesen. I don't know what the Vasen is, though. There is the German noun die Vase, singular. Die Vasen, plural, the vase. Let's write that down. The camera might shake a little bit. Don't you worry. Die Vasen. That will happen when I type something into the chat because, of the desk shaking a little bit. Then the vase. Yeah. But it doesn't have anything to do with Vasen. No. Baden-Württemberg state version of Wiesen, I have heard. I don't know. I'm not really an expert when it comes to that, I'm afraid. But that might be the case, yeah. I mean, there are several different, little regional variations of the big original Oktoberfest in Munich, in München. Of course, yeah. That's a very common thing in Germany. Hi, Carl. Hallo. By the way, everyone, feel free to tell me if the music's too loud or, if in case something may not work according to plan, tonally, in terms of the audio or the visuals. Please let me know, because there are some things while I'm streaming I can't check, and I basically rely on you. And so if something may not work according to plan, or doesn't seem normal, an intense quality drop in terms of the frame rate or something like that, please tell me. But I think it should be fine so far. You have been to Wiesen yourself? Vuke has, I believe. Vuke has been to the Wiesen, I think once, at least once, maybe even twice, but I haven't. No, I haven't been there. It's on the one hand, I think it would be an interesting experience to be there at least once. But on the other hand, I'm not a big fan of, wasting myself with alcohol. I don't mind drinking a little bit of alcohol every now and then, and party with friends and drinking maybe a little bit more than, but not, endorsing, of course, getting wasted. Don't get me wrong. But I think you know what I mean. But it's way too expensive for getting wasted, to be honest. Getting hammered. I can get hammered way cheaper than going to the Oktoberfest. And I don't know. It's just not my type of thing, really. Albeit, you know, it is. I guess it would be very interesting. But, nah. Can't see myself going there for the time being. Coding Beast asks, do you know any more languages other than German and English? Depends on how you determine or, you know, what you mean by no. I know a tiny little bit of Spanish, but not that, you know, not to that extent of, you know, me being able to speaking whole sentences, with the exception of, you know, una cerveza, por favor, you know. I'd like a beer, please. Everyone knows that. And a few terms, words, vocabulary. And I learned Latin back in school. Yeah. I learned a little bit of Latin for, I think, 2 or 3 years. Interesting language, definitely, but wasn't really my thing, even though, you know, I'm a language person, as opposed to being, you know, a natural science person, which doesn't have anything to do with my interests. It's just that I have, you know, I'm drawn more towards languages, and I have a better understanding of, you know, language and linguistic systems, as opposed to understanding chemistry, for instance, or, you know, physical calculations and all of that. So, but I basically also forgot most of Latin because, you know, it's not an actively spoken language apart from the Vatican, but even there, I think it doesn't really get spoken on a daily basis. So interesting, but outdated and basically a dead language. But it is interesting also for polyglots, basically, because it allows you to see certain connections between languages because of similar words, you know, and stems of words, origins of words. Especially when it comes to Indo-Germanic languages, of course, you know, it can really help. And sometimes it's also mandatory to know a little bit of Latin or to have had Latin courses in class for certain fields of study. You know, I think in judicial fields of study, I think it maybe requires, I'm not sure, but yeah. It's all working well, audio-wise, to me at least. I am head bobbing with the music. That's awesome, Nico. Würdest du lieber gegen 100 Enten große Pferde oder gegen eine pferdegroße Ente kämpfen? Okay. Would you rather fight against 100 duck-sized horses or against one horse-sized duck? Is what Kai actually asked in German. Maybe against one horse-sized duck, because it may, I don't know. I mean, it can still be, I mean, ducks can be quite dangerous, I guess, you know, certain situations. That would be my spontaneous answer. Maybe, you know, if you asked me that tomorrow, I would answer the other way. But I guess, you know, a horse-sized duck, it can be intimidating, but it can also be cute. I guess so, yeah. You know, I know there are people that are afraid of ducks, actually. And, you know, I think there's even a technical term for that. But I'm not. I quite like them. But you know, just stay away from a horse-sized duck that... I guess, you know, if I can evade the fight, I wouldn't fight at all and, you know, let them be what they are, basically. How long will you be live? Lily Winchester asks. I don't know. Maybe for like an hour and a half, I guess, at least. Guten Morgen, Dave. Alles fit im Schritt? Bitte auf Deutsch. Mr. Spock 89. Of course. Awesome. Reliable as always. Okay, mir geht's sehr gut. Ich kann mich nicht beklagen. In Deutschland ist es immer noch sehr warm, dafür, dass es Herbst ist. Also wir hatten heute zum Beispiel um die 20 Grad Celsius, was, glaube ich, sogar ein Rekord war. Also es war wirklich sehr, sehr warm für diese Jahreszeit. Sehr angenehm, aber irgendwie auch komisch, weil es ist eigentlich Herbst und eigentlich ist es um diese Jahreszeit schon kälter. Aber ja, ich finde es eigentlich ganz angenehm. Doch, also es wird sowieso noch früh genug kalt, also von daher kann es ruhig noch 1, 2 Tage warm bleiben. Ist ja auch schön, weil man noch nicht heizen muss, ne? Also von daher, das ist schon nicht schlecht. There was a little bit of German thrown in because I actually spoke a little bit about how I'm doing and you know what the weather is like basically and everything. I mean like a bit not fluent in terms of languages, I know, but that's basically it, you know. There are 1 or 2 videos on this channel where I try to speak foreign languages, for instance Japanese and Mandarin Chinese. And maybe in the future I may continue that series because it's interesting for me, you know, to check out other languages. And that was much fun. So yeah, maybe I will get back to that at some point. We'll see. Will Smith. Semper ubi sub ubi. Semper is immer, you know, always, I think. Ubi. Sub could be below or under, I think. Ubi. Actually knew that term at some point, but Semper ego, always me, always I, you know, immer ich, I guess. Maybe I'm wrong, like I'm totally off, I don't know. Latin was obnoxious to learn, I remember that much. Yes, it was. It's a very grammar-heavy language compared to many other languages. Also, there's the ablative, you know, the ablative, I think it is in English, which is another case that we don't have in German. So it was something completely new. And it also isn't something that you have in English, so I couldn't actually make the connection. I actually had to learn from the get-go. And all the declinations, the U declination, I think there is, and the I declination and everything. It was a little bit, yeah, interesting, but I don't miss it. Let me put it this way. Nothing against you, Latin, of course, you know. Don't judge me, but that's basically it. Always wear underwear. Always wear okay. Always wear underwear. The pun works in English at least. I see. Yeah, in German it wouldn't work, I don't think, because in German it would be trage immer Unterwäsche. Just doesn't work in German. Gonna type that into the chat. Trage immer Unterwäsche. Always wear underwear. I love making those connections between the languages I know. Yes, I can definitely see the appeal in that. Favorite Latin phrase and life motto: absit iniuria verbis. Verbis would be words. Absit could be something like he, she, it is doing something. I don't know. Would you go to another Rammstein show in the future? Why not? Yeah. I mean, I really, really enjoyed my first Rammstein show in June in Düsseldorf with my dad. And yeah, if I, you know, given the chance and given the tickets, basically, you know, having a chance to get tickets in time, yeah, I mean, we would both love to go again, my dad as well. It's a common thing for us to go to concerts together these days. Not all of them, but most. For instance, this year I've been to Ghost, I've seen Tool live, I've seen the Red Hot Chili Peppers live, I've seen Rammstein live, I've seen Die Ärzte live. That is basically it, and all of those concerts, you know, I attended with my dad. It's like a, yeah. Let injury by words be absent. That's a cool saying, yeah. That's awesome. Trying to catch up with you guys. Very warm in France too. Yeah, I can imagine that. I mean, it's basically, you know, very close to each other. So France and Germany, I guess, at least partially also share the same weather phenomenon. Well, what is the music on now? It's excellent. It's some copyright-free, royalty-free music, which I actually found a few, like 1 or 2 years ago, and yeah, it's been there ever since. I like it. Like me some nice electronic music every now and then. Mr. Lincoln Jason, hi! Thanks for tuning in. How are you doing? Zemper ego, always me, translated to I am me and no one can change who I am. Ego is defined as the I or me. Ah. What does Zemper Phi mean again? Keep seeing and hearing that every now and then. What is Phi in Latin? I wonder. How are we all? I am great. Thank you very much. Which, by the way, always sounds strange to say that for me personally, because, you know, from my German perspective, saying I am great, you know, or how are you? I'm doing great could actually mean, you know, ich mache etwas Tolles or ich mache etwas Großartiges, and I'm great would actually, you know, or could also mean ich bin großartig, you know, I'm a great person. Ich bin großartig, but I don't, you know, I wouldn't say that of myself for obvious reasons. Ich bin großartig. I am Germany's, of course, the original was? The Ukrainian units are JK, hi, by the way. What does have? And I think it's good that Germany supports them. Okay. What? Okay, yeah, anyway. This is a politics-free channel, by the way, so if you want to talk about politics, do it all the way you want, but I'm not gonna go into that. Just saying. Apart from that, it's a good vibes channel, so no hate speech and anything on here. There are plenty of other platforms and forums to discuss things, and it's, you know, if you want to talk about politics, nothing wrong with that, but this is not the place. That is basically it. So nothing against you personally, of course, JK, you know, just saying. Sam, I went to Cardiff, it's so worth it. Cardiff, where is Cardiff again? Is that a Scottish town or is that an American town? I always keep forgetting. I think the first time I actually heard of Cardiff was through a song, a Stone Sour song, back in the day, on the Come Whatever May album, which is great. I think there's a song called Cardiff on that, yeah. Fidelity, oh, I see. Ah, I see. Interesting. Let's keep up with you guys. Oh, I've heard Ghost is a fun show. To be honest, the Ghost show that I attended this year was one of the best concerts I've been to in a while. And that was a great show. I was like third row, I think, or we were third row. I actually met a friend of mine there who was standing in second row. And it was just such a great stage setup and everything. The set list was great. I also think, not gonna lie, that their current album, Impera, is one of the best rock albums of recent years. I truly think so. There are so many great songs on that. Spillways, the recent single, for instance, awesome. It has Toto vibes. It has, that certain 80s arena stadium rock vibes to it. You have to like that, of course, to appreciate the song. But if you do, this is a must listen, to be honest. It's a great song. Also, the chord changes and everything, great. Just simply great. A great album as a whole. By the way, I also just reacted to the new Alter Bridge album a couple of days ago on this channel. You can find my full album reaction to that if you're interested. Also a great album. Just listened to it today for the second time. And yeah, it's a great album. I actually prefer it over the past two Alter Bridge albums, which I also like, but not on the same level as Fortress or AB3 or Blackbird, because they are really, top notch, I think, from start to finish. Kai beat me to it. Call me Fat Jesus. Wow, thank you very much for that generous tip. That is greatly appreciated. They say, you do a good job with these, and a million thanks for the Rammstein video translations. You're very welcome. And by the way, there's one coming up soon as well for a song of the most recent album. Yes, I actually finished recording the stuff for that, I think yesterday, and I have to edit that. So I will. I think it will come out, in the first or second week of November. So thank you very much once again. That is greatly appreciated. And it really helps, as you can see down there. It snowed here yesterday, heavy snowfall May 21st. 2 Septembers ago, it went from 33 degrees Celsius to 0 degrees Celsius in one 24-hour period, 3 p.m. to 3 p.m. I think you're talking about Fahrenheit, I guess. I'm not too familiar with Fahrenheit. I think around like 30-ish% Fahrenheit equals 0 degree Celsius, I think, right? Like plus minus 30 degree Fahrenheit is 0 degrees Celsius, more or less, right? Maybe I'm totally wrong. I don't know. And I don't think... Is it possible to express negative temperatures in Fahrenheit? Because in Celsius you can. So, yeah. I got new fishing kit today and just been down to test it out. Okay. I think that's very chilling as well, My grandpa used to go fishing quite a lot. I vividly remember that, also from my childhood, because at some point he actually, or my grandparents had many ponds. They earned a few ponds in the forest here in my region, and we used to drive there every other weekend, basically, and had like barbecue parties there with friends and families regularly. That was awesome. I actually talked about that in a more recent German podcast episode, which is about experiences I've had in nature. By the way, if you don't know, and if you're interested in podcasts, and podcasts in German specifically, check out the German podcast. It's an easily to remember, memorable title. It is my podcast in which I, a German native speaker, speak about things in German, hence the name, the German podcast. So it's basically meant for both native speakers, but it's also meant for you guys, for instance, in case you're learning German, or if you want to use that as a German listening practice. It's for free. You can listen to it for free. I also have a Patreon for my podcast, for anyone who wants to support me there as well with that endeavor. I just released my 81st episode yesterday. So, whoops. The German podcast. Or can I actually delete that? Yes, I can, because just in case anyone wants to check that out. All completely voluntary, of course. It's fun to record these podcasts, to be honest. I basically talk about various different topics that I'm interested in. Sometimes I even get a little bit philosophical, and I reflect things, I reflect on things quite a lot. I actually talk about music and bands every now and then. The second to last episode was about The Sixth Sense, for instance, the movie. I basically reviewed that and had a little recap about, and I actually mentioned what I love about the movie and why I think it's a modern masterpiece. Yeah, it's much fun. So if you're into that, I really like podcasts myself. I like listening to them. It's awesome. Großartig sounds like mega fun in broken Norwegian translation, since artig is that something is funny. Oh, I see. Interesting. Mega fun. A mega point. By the way, Kai, and everyone else being interested in Norwegian as well, I actually, about 5 years ago, a long time ago actually, I recorded a collaboration video with the Norwegian YouTuber Sunny. Some of you might know her. She's awesome. She's really likable. And we had a little challenge going on. I challenged her with German tongue twisters, and she challenged me with Norwegian tongue twisters. So if you're interested in checking that out, that was much fun. I'm going to provide you with a link in a second. Let me just actually do some, try to look it up. Norwegian. It's 5 years ago. Wow. Time really, really does fly. It's almost 6 years, actually. This is the video if you want to check it out. Just posted that into the chat. I'm sorry, I will chill with the politics. No worries, JK. Don't you worry at all. I just wanted to state that so that it's clear. Nothing against, wanting to discuss political things. Don't get me wrong, I don't have anything against that per se, but this is simply not the point, the place to do that. So thanks for your understanding. I really appreciate that. I'm sure the phrase pops up in films all the time. Tom Hanks says it to a new recruit in That Thing You Do. Okay. Wales. I think that's where Cardiff is. Wales. Yeah. You are good peeps. I love Germany and Düsseldorf. I know a lovely lady in Unna. Unna, wow. That is not, directly next to where I live, basically, but it's quite close to where I live. So, yeah. Call Me Little Sunshine and Hunter's Moon are my favorites from Impera. Those were two awesome singles, definitely. I can't actually say what is my favorite song. By the way, I also reacted to the entire Impera album on my channel. So if you want to check that out, gonna provide you with a link real quick. I always like to do these, album reaction listening parties flavored with me explaining related German terms, For instance, translating English song titles to German and vice versa. This link that I just posted is the Ghost Emperor full album reaction. But yeah, Call Me Little Sunshine and Hunter's Moon are awesome. Definitely. My friend is wondering what types of fish is in Germany. There are lots of types of fish, you know, in Germany. By the way, interesting linguistically speaking, in German you can actually have both der Fisch singular and die Fische plural, you know, both the singular and plural term. Whereas in English, you know, I think in most cases, I think you would just say fish as both singular and plural. So that is a little linguistic difference to consider. Der Fisch, it's a masculine noun, and die Fische, the fish. By the way, talking about translating stuff and everything, I don't know when exactly and, you know, to which conditions yet, totally, but I thought about offering some, you know, maybe two things. Don't take my words for granted. Just throwing that out there. Because I thought about actually offering German voiceovers for, you know, YouTubers and videos and everything. And I also thought about offering translation work from English to German. For a little fee, you know, or fee always sounds strange, for a little, you know, pledge. Maybe on Fiverr. So that would be cool. Don't know when and if and anything yet, but I actually thought about doing that. And I also still think about how to set up the worksheet thing that I was talking about in a few other live streams before, which is basically me providing you guys with German learning worksheets, you know, German language worksheets about various different topics. For instance, also learning German with, you know, music, bands, whatever, and filling out, you know, certain gaps in texts, or choosing the correct conjugation or inflection or whatever of words, you know. So I simply don't know how to put or set that up yet, and where and how and everything, because I'm not used to that, and I don't know what to charge for that. Still, it's really tough to find that out because I don't know that. I haven't done that before, so we'll see. Isn't Fahrenheit, by the way, trying to catch up with you guys, isn't Fahrenheit based on body comfort? I don't know. While Celsius is based on water state change. I mean, I could see that fit, yes. Megapint. Haven't heard that in a while. Thank you for the giggle. I actually have a Johnny Depp t-shirt with that phrase. So, a megapint. Love it. Negative. I meant Celsius. Oh, okay. Ah, that's the crossover point. Ah, I see. 1 degree Fahrenheit equals about 0.55 degrees Celsius. Ah, okay. I don't think I can actually remember that for the future, but yeah. It's interesting to know, of course. That was an awesome collab. Thank you very much. It indeed was, yes. Cheeky plugs. Commission translation sounds like a good idea. Yeah, I thought so too. It may be a little, you know, a nice little additional source of income for me. And yeah, I could still keep this channel running, of course. And yeah, we'll see how things will evolve. You know, currently I'm doing YouTube as a side job, basically. And you know, I wouldn't mind doing more, but it's simply not possible at the moment. But we'll see. Form of cockroach, yes. Made, I think, 2 videos about learning German with The Witcher. So if you want to check that out, I actually explained the German version for Toss a Coin to Your Witcher, and I also explained related German words with, you know, the series and the game The Witcher. So if you wanna watch that, you can do that. Let me actually share. Roach also means a marijuana cigarette. Okay, I didn't know that. Thanks for telling me. Not too familiar with marijuana, to be honest. Toss a coin to your Witcher. A valley of plenty, a valley of plenty. Oh. Those are the 2 Witcher-related videos if you want to check them out. Looking forward to the next season because I really enjoyed the second one. I mean, I also enjoyed the first one, but I think I even liked the second one a bit more because it was more streamlined. Not that I have anything against, you know, the first season, which is more, you know, 3 plot paths interwoven, you know, but, you know, judging from someone who doesn't know anything about The Witcher, and I know a little bit about The Witcher. I've seen a Let's Play of The Witcher 3. And I just read that they are currently remaking The Witcher 1, actually, which is I'm really excited for. And maybe, you know, one of my favorite streamers, Co-Carnage, will actually Let's Play it. I think he will. So I'm gonna check that out. So, yeah. Looking forward to that. Lily S. What is your favorite food? My favorite food. While I'm actually thinking about that, I can actually look something up for you real quick, because believe it or not, I have actually made and recorded a full podcast episode about food. I just have to find it. There it is. So if you want to check that out as a listening practice, do so. That is the link to the podcast episode in the chat. My favorite food. I like many things. You know, you can't go wrong with potatoes, I don't think. It might not be popular to say that, but I really like fries. I just like fries. I like like in the recent 2-ish years, I think I've become a big fan of vegan chicken McNuggets. And, you know, vegan stuff in general. You know, I still eat meat, but I nowhere near as much as I used to do back in the day. So, yeah, vegan stuff, you know, vegan chicken nuggets, vegan schnitzel, you know. Vegan patties, yeah. I also really like eating green salad, you know, with cucumber and with tomatoes and onions and everything. I really enjoy that. I also really enjoy apples, you know, fruit in general. Watermelon in the summer is always nice. Yeah, many other dishes, you know. There's one that I really like. I actually made a video about that as well, which I can look up, which is called Currywurst Gnocchi Auflauf. Currywurst Gnocchi Casserole. I like fish, you know, as well. Waffles. I really like, even though they are not the healthiest type of food. I know that because of all the salt and everything, you know. I really like salty pretzels. Salt pretzels. Really like them a lot. Don't mind some chocolate. Yeah. Noodles, you know, spaghetti, mom spaghetti. He's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop bombs. Daddy, da, 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 da. Sorry. Little Slim Shady Eminem reference there. Who else thinks that Rammstein should make a song titled Zeitgeist? Yeah, I mean, that would definitely be a type of song name that would fit the band, I think. I don't know if they will make such a song in the future, because they basically have tackled that topic, Zeit, you know, and the passing of time, and, you know, Memento Mori, remember that you're mortal. I've actually talked about all of those metaphors and tropes in my song explanation videos for Zeit, for instance, which is a very philosophical song by Rammstein, which is basically about that, the Zeitgeist, or as you say, the Zeitgeist. So I don't know if they will actually make such a song in the future, because they basically have tackled that topic, topic of time, and the state of time, and our state of society, our state of culture and living now, in the here and now. But who knows? Also with songs like Angst, for instance, you know. Also talked about that in a video before. Oh, nice. We'll check it out. Feel free to do the. Sorry, my tongue sometimes is slower than my brain. Oh, nice. We'll check it out. Thank you very much for doing so, and hope you will enjoy it. If they didn't have Zeit already, I would say yes, but to my non-German ear, they sound too similar. Yes, and that as well. It reminds me of when Flake said, unfortunately, there's already a song named Herzleid, also by us. Yeah. I never tried vegan foods. Definitely give it a try. I mean, nowadays, I think, you know, up 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago, the situation was different, because first of all, you didn't have as much vegan food, or as many vegan food options back then compared to nowadays. And secondly, the recipes and the ingredients and how it's actually mixed up and everything has improved and increased so much that there are so many things you can choose from, that I'm almost certain that there will be something for you that you will enjoy. I was a little bit skeptic at first, but I tried. And, in the case of chicken McNuggets, chicken nuggets, I only eat the vegan variant. And, these days, I don't eat the meat version anymore. There's no reason for me to do that, because the vegan one is just as tasty to me personally, not missing anything there, honestly. Zeitgeist could be time portrayed as a spirit or a ghost wandering around, calming people's lives as it does in real life. Yeah, basically the other side of the Zeit music video with death coming to people and everything. Yeah, would actually be an interesting, contrasting concept, I guess. Yeah. Have your favorites of the new Rammstein album stayed the same since it came out, or have they shifted around at all? To me, the ones I wasn't as into fell even more, and Dicke Titten became top fave. I mean, there are certain songs that have grown on me, definitely. Schwarz, for instance, I really liked at first listen, but it wasn't my favorite song. But it certainly has increased, because the atmosphere of the song has, reached me a bit deeper from listen to listen. Gonna check out the tracks once again of that album to actually maybe able to tell you even more. No, I mean, apart from that, I don't think my opinion of the album has really changed. No, I don't think so. I still like it, you know. So, yeah. But it's a good question. Thank you, Nico. Oh, same, but I eat the vegan version for full chicken patties. They're way tastier in my opinion and somewhat cheaper at the moment than regular chicken. Albino Croc, hi, thanks for tuning in. Hello, I'm new here, but what an interesting question I walked into. Thank you. I mean, I'm gonna say thank you to the person who asked the question, of course, but thanks for saying that and for being so nice to us. Do you have a favorite Rammstein song then? An all-time favorite Rammstein song? Not really. I can't pinpoint it down to one, to be honest. There are many Rammstein songs that I like for various different reasons. Also, I would distinguish songs, you know, liking songs on the musical side of things and on the lyrical side of things. Sometimes both things match in terms of quality to my ears. Sometimes I rather prefer the music instead of the lyrics. Sometimes I'm a bigger fan of the lyrics than the actual music. But I have, you know, all-time favorite songs by Rammstein that I really, really like the most, I guess, would include Keine Lust. Also because of the music, actually, and the bridge is awesome. Reise, Reise. Definitely, because it's very anthemic. It has a very awesome atmosphere. Dalai Lama, I think, is a very underrated Rammstein song. Haifisch, I definitely like. No, Nico, no! No, anyway, thanks for tuning in. I really, really appreciate that. As always, you know that. So thank you. Thank you for spending the time here, and thanks for your great questions. If you have some questions left, or if you come up with new questions for the next live stream, just write them down, and maybe I'm gonna maybe I'm gonna answer them in the next stream. So don't you worry. Thanks for everything. Thanks for your support, Nico. That is greatly appreciated from the bottom of my German heart. Anyway, back to Rammstein. Du hast, you know, Sehnsucht, the song. Rosenrot, I really like the mood of that one. Links 234 has a great energy. Du riechst so gut is awesome. I also really like the second music video they shot for that, because there is one, the first version of that music video from '95. No. But the second one, which is more like Sleepy Hollow-ish, that is great. By the way, I also made a video about me ranking all Rammstein videos up to this album. But, you know, or with the exception of this album, but up until that point, all Rammstein music videos ranked by me. I'm gonna provide you with the link real quick. Where is it? Where is it? Rammstein music videos ranked from worst to best by a German. That would be me. And there are many more, you know, Rammstein songs that I really, really like a lot. But those were a few that came to mind immediately. Amerika, Los. And as you might have heard, you know, the Reise Reise album is strong in me. It really is. So, Ren Shiwu asks, there's a Rammstein song called Haifisch. Doesn't that mean shark? First of all, yes. Is the song about a shark literal or figurative? I would say the latter, but I guess you can also find some arguments for the first option. It could be ambiguous, because most Rammstein songs are ambiguous, actually. It's a great song. It's basically a very self-reflective song in terms of, a band, because it's a song about the band and the members being basically forming a shark and swimming together in a pond, in the sea, and working together and supporting each other. That is the basic outline of that song. I actually also analyzed and translated the lyrics of that song before, so just posted the link if you want to check that out. Rammstein Haifisch, meaning explained, English translation, plus learn German with lyrics, songs. That is the video. Great song. I like the more 80s, Depeche Mode. By the way, talking about Depeche Mode, I actually got tickets for Depeche Mode for next year. Looking forward to that. Yes. Really looking forward to that, because I haven't seen them live, and neither has my dad, so that's going to be a first for the two of us. And what songs, not just Rammstein of course, but general German songs, appeal to you lyrically? I've been trying to translate some songs here and there for myself. That's there are lots of German songs by other artists that I like as well. There are lots of songs by a German band. You may not know them. If you do, that's great. There's a German band called Subway to Sally. They basically play medieval-influenced folk metal, folk rock, with quite poetic lyrics, and also quite sometimes slightly medieval-sounding lyrics because of the choice of words. They sometimes use words which are rather outdated, but every German still knows them, so they, like we Germans, we understand those lyrics, even though we realize that the choice of words, is it's very poetic or very, medieval-like, outdated and ancient seeming. They are a great band, definitely. Subway to Sally, I'm gonna provide you with a link in a second to my favorite album by them, which is called Bastard. But they, basically all their albums are great. There's a great song by them, which is not on that album that I just mentioned, but it's great. The song is called Kleid aus Rosen, This, if you have Spotify, this is the song Kleid aus Rosen by Subway to Sally. There's another song which is sort of like also mythical, and it deals with numerology, the science of numbers and meaning of numbers. In this case, the number 7, Sieben, which is also a great song. That is the song Sieben, and then there is the link to the album that I really like, which is great from start to finish, in my opinion. The album Bastard, which is 15 years old this year. Just crazy. But they are still running strong. I actually saw them live in 2019, I think. Great band. Also, there is a German band called Die Ärzte. You may know them because they are really famous and really popular. There is an anti-Nazi song, an anti-Third Reich, and discriminating and racism song that they have, which is pretty much the most well-known German song in that field ever. Schrei nach Liebe, scream for love. Also, in a more general sense, a song with a cool topic is Deine Schuld, your fault or your guilt. And basically the outline of the chorus is: Es ist nicht deine Schuld, dass die Welt ist, wie sie ist. Es wäre nur deine Schuld, wenn sie so bleibt. It's not your fault that the world is the way it is. It only were your fault if it stayed like that. That is basically a loose translation of that phrase, and I always love that metaphor, that idea. You know, you can't change what people have done in the past and that have led to the world being the way it is nowadays, but now you yourself can change things for the future. You know, that is, I think it's a logical thing, but it's also a great, simple and yet clever idea. So, yeah. So I've been listening to the Reise Reise album because of you. Awesome. Albino Croc, if I may ask you, because I'm curious, how did you find my channel, and which was the video that you found my channel through, and when was that? And how did you find that video? Did you actively search for it on YouTube, or did you get it suggested, recommended? Did you find it on Google search? How did you find it? And also you guys, you know, everyone else who wants to answer that, because that is really interesting to me as a creator. If you know that, if you still remember that, feel free to tell me, because that really helps me understand my channel metrics and SEO and everything better. Better. That was a very English way to say besser, better, better. And you're welcome, Albino Croc. I think there's a Cologne or Düsseldorf ice hockey team called Sharks. Yes, I think die Kölner Haie, the Cologne Sharks. It's a German ice hockey team, and a quite successful one, I think. Not the biggest expert when it comes to, you know, playing hockey, but ice hockey. Sorry. Checking my notifications real quick if there's something important. No, not really. Gonna enjoy some more of this. What are you drinking, I wonder? This is basically a mixture of beer flavored with lemon juice. In German it's called Radler. Das Radler. Has an own term actually, Das Radler. Beer flavored with lemon juice. Really like that. When it comes to beer, I actually prefer mixed beers like this, you know. And you know, if I can choose, I would actually choose, you know, drinking mead, honey wine, over drinking beer. I just prefer it, you know, the taste of it, like it more. Call Me Fat Jesus says, I found you through the Rammstein translation videos, but I have a general interest in Germany for a lot of reasons, all good ones. Awesome. That's really cool. I can't remember how I found your channel, but I just know that I searched Rammstein reactions and found your channel. That is great. Achievement unlocked. That's easy. I found you through the Inglorious Bastards video. Oh, interesting. Because I recently watched the film and wanted to see what Germans thought about it. That was a couple of weeks ago, I would say. Wow. Thank you. And because I'm learning German and happen to be a Rammstein enjoyer that just started working to translate some of the songs I liked, seeing that you actually did song breakdown sold me completely. Yeah, I actually recorded almost, or maybe exactly, actually 80 Rammstein videos, 80 over the years, and most of them song explanation videos where I actually explain the German lyrics and I also translate them to English in order to make you understand what they are about and which German parts of the lyrics translate to which stuff in English, which expressions, which phrasings and choices of words and everything. So it's much fun. I love music and I love helping you guys understanding the German language and culture a bit more. So if I can combine it, that's awesome. That is also one of the reasons why I started this full album reaction series, where I listen to an album from start to finish, sometimes actually for the first time. And I also include a few learning German elements in that. Mostly, me translating the English song titles to German and explaining them. The only downside of that is, or the only problem, and maybe you can actually help me with that if you have clever, marketing ideas how to call that series, because I haven't really found a really short and catchy title for that video series. It's basically album reactions or music reactions meet German language lessons, or meet German language lesson. It's a mixture of both, and you can actually name it that, of course, but it's quite long, and I couldn't really find a properly fitting, simply understandable, comprehensible title yet. So if you have an idea, feel free to let me know. Doesn't Radler mean bicycle as well? Is there a reason the word is used for both? It doesn't mean bicycle, it means bicycle rider, der Radler. Even though that would be maybe a quite colloquial term. The actual term for a bicycle rider, a person riding a bicycle, would be der Fahrradfahrer. Or if it's a woman, die Fahrradfahrerin. Gonna type that down real quick. Die Fahrradfahrerin. Singular feminine. Oops, little typo there. Die Fahrradfahrer, plural. Die Fahrradfahrerinnen, plural for the feminine form. Feminine. Bicycle riders or rider. I don't know why it's actually called that, to be honest, this type of beer. Maybe some famous bicycle riders actually enjoy drinking that while riding bicycles, even though you shouldn't drink and ride, of course. But maybe that's the reason. I don't know. It's a good question, though. I'm always interested in, I've actually also made a few videos about German sayings, German expressions, German idioms and proverbs and everything. And also to me, as a native speaker, it's interesting to find out more about the origin of those things, if, available. Is there a language you want to learn, Dave, or are learning? I'm not learning a language at the moment. Honestly, I wouldn't have the time. No, not really. I mean, I'm really fascinated by and have a huge respect for polyglots, people learning several different languages. I'm not one of them. I only speak English and German, basically, and that's it. But I like languages, though. I rather want to do some other things with my time in the future if I can. I'm still working on my novel, my book project that I have to finish. Gonna let you guys know more once I can actually tell you guys more. I also want to get back to playing games on Twitch, maybe every now and then, a little bit, and also uploading that on YouTube as Let's Plays or stream recordings, maybe. I don't know yet. I would actually love to do that again, because that was actually the first thing that I ever did on YouTube. My first channel that I founded in 2011 was a German Let's Play channel. It's still there. It's called Dave Durden TV. So if you're into gaming and you wanna see me or hear me play games in German, you can do that. And I would really love to get back to that somehow. I haven't really uploaded anything on that channel this year, but maybe I will continue in the near-ish future somehow. Every now and then at least, I don't know. It's always a question of how to spend your spare time, you know, and it can be quite tricky for me sometimes to balance the time of, you know, the 24 hours in a day. But we'll see. Wolfie, hi. Thanks for tuning in, and greetings from Germany to Canada. Canada, as we say in Germany. Canada. We would also spell that with a K, by the way. Canada. Cheers to you. What time is it in your place? I wonder. Because in Germany it is almost 9:30 p.m. So yeah. Wolfie, if you want to answer, and if you remember that, I'd like to know, when did you find my channel? How did you find my channel? And what was the first video that you saw or found? And how did you find it even? You know, was it suggested to you on YouTube, or did you actually actively try to look for that topic? Did you find that via Google, for instance? Oh, 3:23 p.m. and it's sunny in Toronto. I really would like to go to Toronto at some point as well, yeah. And to the US and so many places, you know. I've never been outside of Europe yet. Never. I haven't really traveled all too much anyway. But I really want to go to the US at some point, and, you know, Canada, Australia. There are so many places I want to go to at some point, but we'll see. Maybe at some point in time I can actually make that work. Back in 2018, wow. That's crazy, long time ago. I was learning German to speak to my family, and I saw a video with Get Germanized and thought you were wonderful, so I subscribed. Thank you very much for saying that. That is very kind. Thank you. And very flattering, actually. I don't know if I deserve that, but thank you very much nonetheless, of course. Appreciate it. Much appreciated. That's cool, Wolfie. That is really cool. Found it a long time ago while watching React videos, and came by your channel when I was looking for reactions on Rammstein and found something even better, a translation. Yeah. Sometimes, you know, at the beginning, when I actually started doing more these when I started doing more of these language explanation videos with songs, you know, me translating songs to English, you know, and explaining the German lyrics of Rammstein, Eisbrecher, Die Ärzte, and the like, I actually wasn't sure whether it wasn't too much, you know, explanation, too much explanatory content for people to enjoy it. Because sometimes I feel like if you are too in depth into something, or too deep into something, it may actually not be interesting enough for other people all the time. But then again, I felt like I can't do it any other way, because if I really truly wanted to explain a song, I have to explain the whole song and not just a part of it, basically. And that also includes explaining, you know, basically every, if not most of them, details and things that are worth noting. So yeah, at first I wasn't sure about that, you know, whether that would be appealing to people on YouTube, but it seems people like it, you know. And I do too, of course, otherwise I wouldn't be doing it. Which is also a cool thing to be able to say, to be honest, you know. I've now reached 53,000 subscribers, which is beyond insane to me still. My all-time favorite goal is to reach 100K. Maybe at some point I can make that possible. Once again, if you know someone who may also enjoy these types of videos, feel free to suggest them to me and to me. Feel free to suggest them to my channel, basically, but also to me in a way, and recommend my videos, my channel, because that really helps a whole lot. Also on social media, for instance, you know, if you can and want to, of course, don't feel forced, but it really helps a whole lot. And if I could reach that milestone at some point, maybe 100K, that would be cool. That would be really cool. We'll see. It's 20:25 p.m. here in Scotland. Yeah, I also want to go to Scotland at some point. Is the Sächsische dialect considered ugly or ridiculous? If so, why is that? It depends on how you ask, or who you ask, actually, I should say. My tongue is actually not working properly anymore. I think I have to drink a little bit more to oil the tongue in a way. No, anyway, just kidding. And don't drink, you know, be careful with that. There are, like, from where I live, you know, judging from that, I can only judge from my experiences and share my experiences with that and people that I know, which for the vast majority aren't from Saxony, Sachsen, you know, in East Germany. I'm from West Germany, to give you some context. I'm from North Rhine-Westphalia, which is the biggest German state in terms of population, with over 18 million people living here, 18 million citizens. And oh, okay, Kai, thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the stream, and I hope to see you next time and in some of the next streams, because I always enjoy that company. And once again, thank you very much for your questions and for everything, for your support. It's awesome, you know, it's beyond awesome. So, and all you guys as well, of course, you know, I really do appreciate all of that. So coming back to your question, Ren, I think in West Germany, many people actually maybe not actively dislike the Saxony dialect, you know, the Saxonian dialect, der Sächsische Dialekt, or simply Sächsisch, Saxonian German. The type of German, the German dialect that people speak in Saxony, in the state of Saxony, in East Germany. But there are many people that I know from my region, you know, and from West Germany, I guess, in general, that aren't the biggest fan of the sound of that dialect. That goes not to say that they dislike the people speaking that necessarily, but they dislike the sound of the words and the pronunciation, because it has a very distinct sound. And yeah, that's basically the answer to your question. You know, there are many people, I guess, who dislike that dialect. There are many people that don't mind it. It's but if, you know, it's interesting, if you had to actually make a list of German dialects in terms of how popular they are in Germany. I guess, don't mean, you know, to mock anyone, of course, but I guess both the Bavarian dialect and the Saxony dialect and Swabian, you know, Schwäbisch, those three dialects, for whatever reasons, you know, there are, I guess many people have many reasons, potentially, they would be at the lowest end of the list, you know, meaning they would be the most disliked ones in comparison. Don't want to judge anything here, but I guess, yeah. By the way, Diana Adams, hi, thanks for tuning in. I actually saw that you wrote a comment, but I didn't really get to it yet. I hope you don't mind. Sometimes I'm a little bit slow with answering questions, and I answer a little much, but I try to answer all questions accordingly, so if I can or want to answer them, of course. But yeah. You put in the effort. I hope the feedback is encouraging enough because your videos are exactly what I, and I'm sure many people needed. Your effort is kindly appreciated. Thank you very much once again, and that really means something. That's very motivational, and yeah, it really shows me, and also, you know, the feedback that I see through the comments, even though I can't really reply to all of them anymore because sometimes there are just too many under too many videos. I try to read as much of them as I can, and that really also is part of what keeps me going here. You know, it sounds strange, but it is. It's not the attention necessarily. I mean, I wouldn't lie, or let me rephrase this. I would lie, explaining it that way around maybe. I would lie if I said, I don't mind, you know, I don't care about the attention, you know, I don't care about subscribers, I don't care about numbers, you know, figures, likes and shares and views and all that kind of stuff. And the monetary aspect of this channel, of course, because as I've said before, I'm doing this as a side job. It is part of my income. It's part of me being able to pay the bills. And I'm very open about that. And you guys, you know, if you've watched my videos for a long time and if you've seen many of my streams, you know that I'm very open with that and very grateful. And I basically express that every single time. And sometimes I hope that I don't sound like a broken record because I keep saying thank you and, you know, I keep saying I'm grateful, but I truly am. And I don't want to get on someone's nerves, of course, but at the same time, I feel like it's only fair and necessary in a way to express that gratitude every now and then again. You know, that's just the case, and so I think that is what I wanted to say with that. Yeah. So, Diane, to your comment. Hey, one of the first videos I discovered from your channel were based on your Rammstein lyrics analysis a few years ago too, and your work for us German language enthusiasts is much, much appreciated. Thank you very much for saying that. See, and that is also good to know, because that is what I just mentioned. At first I was a bit uncertain about, you know, do I tackle too many details here and there in those videos? Is it like too detail loaded for some people? And I guess for some people it may be too detail loaded, but I can't do it any other way, I don't think. That's not the way I roll. I can't, if I were to actually make a new Rammstein song explanation video, for instance, and I would only tackle, you know, let's say a third of the lyrics, that wouldn't feel good to me, you know, and I couldn't do that way. Maybe it would suffice, maybe it would, you know, be enough for people to enjoy that video and to get something out of that, but I don't know. That's just the way I roll, I guess. By the way, what I also really like, and albino, can't really remember if it's albino or albino, or if both is possible. I'm sorry, I don't want to butcher any names, of course, but sometimes I simply don't know. You saying "take care, Kai," you know, something simple like that is also what I really love about my community. I also keep saying that, but it is true, especially in live streams. You guys are so kind to each other, not just to me, but also to each other in the chat. And even though you may not know each other yet, or even though you may be living on totally different parts of the world, and you come together watching this stream right now, or my videos or my live streams, which in itself is a mind-blowing thing to me personally, in a positive way, of course. I really enjoy the fact that I guess 99% of my community is just awesome, friendly, open-minded, curious. That is so cool, because gotta be honest, and don't get me wrong, I don't want it to sound like I'm putting myself on a pedestal, because that is not what I want to say with this. But I do think, judging from my time on YouTube for since the past 11 years, and also the German YouTube scene and parts of it, and also international other YouTubers, sometimes certain YouTubers, depending on what type of content they create, I guess, and what type of target group they have, there are certain communities out there for YouTubers or for streamers on Twitch or other creators, certain communities that have a tendency to be rather on the more toxic side of things. And I'm extremely glad every single time that my community isn't on that side at all. I mean, every now and then I also get nasty comments, and I don't mind that. I can live with that. I'm not a person that is like, oh, there's a bad comment or someone is nasty and I'm gonna cry all day long. That is not how I roll. Sorry, not sorry. And it rarely ever happens, but yeah. What I want to say with that, too long didn't read, TLDR, is I love my community. I'm, my not explicitly stated channel slogan is, spreading the good vibes, which is inspired by one of my favorite streamers, Carnage. He's an American streamer on Twitch. I really enjoy watching his videos, and he is extremely successful. He has over, I think 1 million followers on Twitch. Great guy, doing also many great things for charity, for children, hospitals and everything. Just a really overall likable dude, I think, from what I can tell, as someone who doesn't know him personally. But he also has that, the thing going on that spreading the good vibes, have good vibes when you're watching the streams and spread the good vibes. There's enough negativity outside, out in the world. Why spread negativity again? There's more than enough out there already. There's no sense in doing that for anyone, technically speaking, So, and I really enjoy and really like that attitude, so. Let's see. Speaking of Rammstein, I've noticed in their two latest albums that their sound has changed from heavy metal to a more softer or rock sound. Would you agree? I tend to prefer it. I think they certainly have shifted a little bit away from the really heavy metal. I would still categorize them as metal, but I know what you mean, Wolfie. And some certain songs, really lean a lot towards, rock rather than metal. That is true. Me personally speaking, I like Rammstein and many other bands for it's basically like a box of chocolates, a box of, basically that, which means I don't like just one piece of the puzzle. I like the puzzle as a whole and all the pieces, the heaviness, the lyrical content, the singing voice, the branding of the band, the live show content and how they present themselves and all of that, all those different things in combination. That is my point. And I listen to lots of different types of music, not just rock and metal, by the way, also electronic music and, sometimes even some classical stuff, or soundtrack-based music. I'm quite open-minded when it comes to that. And I also listen to softer rock, even pop, if it's done great, if I like it, I listen to it. So I don't mind if heavy bands become softer. And I don't mind that with Rammstein either. But I do agree, yes, I think especially the second to last album, the self-titled or untitled one, when I listened to it, I felt like, it's a bit more tame, it's a bit tamer in comparison to Liebe ist für alle da, which basically was one of their heaviest albums. Also regarding, the drumming with lots of double bass. And I don't think, maybe, I could be wrong, on both the self-titled and the Zeit album, I don't think there is double bass at all. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there is. Nothing wrong with that, I like both the slightly heavier style, but I also don't mind the maybe softer, more rock-influenced style that they have going on at the moment. So I guess there are thousands of people who dislike the softer style. More power to them, if that's their taste. Who's there to argue with that? You can't argue about taste. But I don't mind, I'm very open-minded when it comes to that. For instance, there are many people, different band, but maybe even a more drastic change in tone and style. Linkin Park, first two albums, nu metal, quite heavy production as well. Third album, alternative rock. Fourth album, electronic pop rock. I like all of that stuff, basically equally and for different reasons. And actually, gotta be honest, with those artists that keep changing and evolving and trying new things, most of the time I not only do I admire them for that, because it also takes some bravery, I think, to do that, and courage, but I also think it enriches my personal taste in music and my personal perspective on things. And to me, what matters is the song and the construction of the music, the arrangement, the melodies especially. I'm a sucker for melodic music. And as long as that's given, I couldn't care less about the genre, to be honest. It's back in the day, like 15-ish years ago, maybe, when I was a teen. As a teenager, I actually thought about that differently, as many teens do, I guess, because they are really hardliners. I only listen to metal and I would never listen to pop music, blah, 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 and all of that stuff. We all know that. And, there are even people as adults that may think that way. More power to them once again, you know. Who am I to judge? It's just not my approach, you know. That I don't tick like that anymore. And personally, I'm glad I don't think like that anymore. So no, you shouldn't worry about that at all. I personally am in for the detailed videos because I feel like I have a much better understanding of a set language when things are more philosophical. You know what I mean? Yes, I think I know what you mean. And I feel the same, actually. Even though I'm, you know, first and foremost, when it comes to new music, even though I understand the lyrics, of course, you know, these days, because I know and comprehend English, back as a child, when I listened to English songs on the radio, I actually really liked the melody and maybe even the singing style and voice and arrangement, but I didn't necessarily understand what they were singing about. But I didn't have to, because I liked all the other stuff, you know. RRR222 just subscribed. Thank you very much for becoming a subscriber. What did I want to say? Philosophical. Oh yeah. You know, and even to this day, even though I do understand and comprehend English, also, you know, English songs, I still go for the melody and the harmony first and foremost, you know. And then usually only second to that, I actually pay more attention to the lyrics. It's just, you know, if the lyrics can be extremely awesome, but if the music doesn't catch me, there's a very, very small chance that I will listen to that song again and again and again. I can appreciate the lyrics for what they are, but because I dislike the music, I just won't listen to the song again, basically, you know. It's that's, you know, the music is the most important thing, and the lyrics usually come second, but I enjoy both, of course. There's a lot of good people in the world, but with depression it makes it difficult for me to see the good people in the world. I can imagine that, Mr. Lincoln Jason, and I hope you get better, of course, you know. And yeah, the details are brilliant. Sometimes I keep listening to a song and cannot figure out what a certain figure of speech means, and then Dave sweeps in to the rescue. Also, you can call me Ned. Oh, okay. Hi, Ned. Don't butcher me, please, if I don't recall that in the next stream, because, you know, there are so many folks coming in and out and everything. There's a high chance that I will remember you, you know, as someone who has joined the stream before, but I can't really promise you that I will actually remember your real name. And that is not meant, you know, against you or against anyone at all. It's just that my brain can't really remember all those things sometimes, you know. So it's nothing personal if that happens. But thanks for telling me, yeah. You can call me Dave. And this may be the first time that I'm able to join your streams. Actually, I'm usually not the type to watch streams. That is, wow, that's very flattering, Diana. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you. I really like streams, to be honest. You know, as a creator, it's a great way to connect with my audience, you know, with my community, with you guys, more directly and immediately. So I usually stream at least once per month, if time allows, you know, sometimes even twice, or sometimes even like thrice, you know, 3 times, including, for instance, an album reaction, an album listening party, because I usually do them live as well with you guys. Yeah. Mr. Lincoln Jason, I would happen to know, but I believe depression is something really soul-drenching, so it makes sense that you don't have the resources left, but every little effort matters. And by the way, if, I don't know, if, you know, I can actually help you, you know, get distracted from, you know, feeling those thoughts and emotions at least a little bit every now and then with my videos, yeah, I'm happy about that, of course, you know. Keep going, and I wish you knew das Beste, only the best. Same. And yeah, that's very kind of you to say, Albino. Wolfie, see you. Yeah, never mind soul drenching it. It destroys all of your energy, and all you want to do is sit down in the corner, not eat, not drink, not talk to anyone, just sit there in the corner and die. That's what depression is like. I can only imagine. If I can lend you a tad bit of strength, that would be incredible, but I acknowledge all the effort that brought you this far, and I do hope for the best. Yeah, I would definitely, I definitely feel the same, Albino. Keep switching between albino and albino. Don't mind me. I'm just a German speaking English. Yeah, but I do agree. I definitely do agree with that. I can't really say too much about that topic, to be honest, because I don't, you know, I haven't really experienced that personally. You know, knocking on wood, of course, as we say in Germany, you know, ich klopfe auf Holz. I'm knocking on wood, basically a literal German equivalent. So I can't really say anything about that, and it would be false of me to say, you know, too much stuff about depression and all that, you know. I know people that have suffered from depression or are suffering from depression, so yeah, it's not like a totally foreign thing to me, but I haven't really experienced it myself, luckily, of course. But once again, if my videos can help you, or if my community also can help you, if these streams, you know, and talking to other people can help you, that is great. And I'm really happy that it may be able to do that, at least a little bit, maybe. Yeah. Okay, everyone. I'm gonna wrap things up in a moment, because it's getting a little late, and tomorrow I'm actually gonna travel to WUKO, get Germanized, and as I've said before, on Sunday into Monday we're gonna celebrate his 36th birthday. I'm really, really, really looking forward to that. And yeah, we'll see what will happen. Marcus Seneca, hi. I'm really sad that for you, you know, because I'm about to basically wrap up the stream in a second. So yeah, maybe you will actually get to see more of it next time. I guess I will stream again in November. As I've said before, I try to stream at least once per month. I guess I'm also gonna have a Christmas stream going on, maybe even a New Year's Eve type of stream. I don't know yet. We'll see. Yeah. This was much fun again, everyone. Thank you very much for your company and, you know, being so open, being so interested in my stuff and in each other, of course, you know, interacting here live in the chat, because that is cool. Yeah, once again, I'm really sorry, Marcus. I'm really, really sorry. But I actually have to go now. I wish you all a nice weekend. And, enjoy Halloween if you celebrate it. If not, enjoy the weekend. And I think it's going to be a great weekend. I hope so. I'm actually looking forward to partying with Get Germanized and friends. Yeah. Once again, call me Fat Jesus. Thanks for your tip, your donation. It really, really, really helps. And, also, Patreon, I keep saying it and it sounds strange, but it really helps. It really makes a difference. So thanks to everyone who supports the channel. Of course, it's all, voluntary. No one should feel forced to do that. And it's totally all right if you say, I can't or I don't want to do it. That's totally fine. I won't judge anyone. But at the same time, of course it helps keep this running and, with everything. So, Berangere and Rita Sarah, also to you guys, I'm really, really sorry. I hope you don't take it personally, because it isn't meant personally, but I'm basically about to wrap up the stream. Or you know what? Because you just tuned in, let's actually stream for 8-ish more minutes, because then I will have streamed for 2 hours. How about that? 8 more minutes. I hope that's okay. But, once again, first and foremost, this stream will be published to my YouTube, to my channel as a whole. And you can watch or re-watch the entire stream if you want to. You can catch up with that. And I'm also going to be streaming in November again, I think. And in December, in the future, at least once per month. So, yeah. Thanks again for tuning in, of course, in that sense, And by the way, I probably butchered your name. Berangere? Bérangère? Berangerie? Mon chéri? I don't know. Rita Sarah. That is easier. Yeah, everyone. Really, really appreciate the company. And your feedback in the comments, of course, under my videos as well. That is really, really motivational. By the way, I hope you enjoy my new channel branding. Because I not only did I actually change my channel name from VlogDave to Definitely, but I also changed the color scheme of the channel a little bit, to like blue-greenish, which is also a color combination that I really like. It was something else, something different, once again, and sometimes I like keeping, things fresh and changing things here and there. Yeah. The second one was very good. I actually don't know what I said as the second one, though. Berangerie? Berangère? One of those, maybe? I don't know. I don't know. Doop, 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 doop. By the way, one more time, because some of you might not be familiar with that yet, but if you enjoy podcasts, you might enjoy my podcast as well, the German podcast, because it is a podcast in German for native speakers and language learners alike, It's a podcast consisting of now 81 episodes. I just released the latest episode yesterday, in which I talk about the evening, the night, and the darkness, in the sense of, thoughts I have about that, experiences I've had in the darkness, in the evening, you know, as a child or, you know, as an adult or whatever. Yeah. The blue-green works well with the red-yellow of the German flag since they are pretty much complementary colors and therefore appealing to the eye. Thank you very much. Even though, honestly, I mean, it may make me seem like a total idiot, but I actually didn't think about that. I just like the colors. But yeah, I think you're right. And I do actually enjoy the combination, yes. I definitely do. Big fan of that. I know I loved watching you play the other day. What do you mean? What do you mean? Maybe I'm gonna actually check out the latest Ghost Files video. I don't know if some of you watch Ghost Files, the show on YouTube with Ryan Bergara and Shane Madej. You may recognize them from BuzzFeed Unsolved. They were the hosts of that show, and they basically go to haunted locations and, you know, try to hunt ghosts. It's really interesting. The video game video, yes, the compilation video, which by the way is my longest video to date, with over 9.5 hours, basically almost 9.5 hours. I guess some people were watching that premiere of that video and they were like, you know, because, you know, under the video screen it actually says premiere has been going or has been running since 4.5 hours, and people may think like, oh wow, how long is this? But it's actually a long compilation. Yeah. That doesn't mean though that I won't continue with that series in the future. You know, I may actually very well every now and then do that. You know, some learn German with games stuff. We'll see. Everything is possible. But I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm really glad you do. I hope you also enjoyed the little, like the rather short new video series, When You Ask a German About blah blah blah. Or, you know, what happens when you ask a German about, in this case, bread, for instance. Because I guess Germans are, you know, well known for their bread and, you know, the various different types of bread that they have, that we have. And there is even more to come, you know, with similar questions. That was much fun. I just wanted to try it out. Carl Herring, hi. Hi, Carl. Thanks for tuning in. Yes, I'm about to end the stream. Bis zum nächsten Mal, of course. Are you going to make another video about German music artists anytime soon? I mean, there's going to be a new Rammstein explanation video, like about a Rammstein song, about the lyrics. And more to come, you know, in that vein, in the future, of course. I guess you mean something along the lines of, you know, the video I made about Richard Z. Kruspe and Till Lindemann, you know, the biography types of videos. I guess I will do some of those every now and then, even though not regularly, because they actually take quite a lot of time to make. And sometimes it's not too easy, you know, in the case of Richard Z. Kruspe, for instance, it wasn't all too easy to find a lot of different old pictures of him from, you know, pre-Rammstein, and especially his childhood. I couldn't actually find I don't think I actually found a single, you know, well resoluted, you know, with a good resolution, picture with a good resolution that I could use, if any at all. So that's a bit problematic, you know, in terms of making those videos. But you know, never say never. Maybe there's gonna be more of that for other musicians at some point. There's nothing planned at the moment, but that doesn't mean anything, because, you know, maybe at some point in a few weeks I'm gonna make another one. Maybe not. I can't really promise, you know, because once again, it takes quite some time. Anyway, that was it basically, everyone. Thanks for sticking around to the channel and to the stream, of course. Basically 2 hours of me streaming now. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks for everything. It's greatly, greatly appreciated from the bottom of my German heart. Cheers to you. And I'm already looking forward to streaming again in the future. I think in November. Gonna let you guys know, as always, through the community tab and on my socials. And yeah, just keep an eye out for that, and then you won't miss the stream. And if you do, you know, I will always keep the streams running on my channel. So thank you for staying a little longer. No worries, you're welcome. But now I'm gonna go. No, yes, but yeah, didn't mind that. Thanks once again. Cheers, and definitely see you next time. Tschüss und bis zum nächsten Mal.